Okay, so that is the good and that is the stuff that I particularly liked. So now I'm going to do the bad. So there's one of the criticisms of the movie is that it's only 2 hours long. I actually think that, thank God it's only 2 hours long, otherwise we would have just ended up with too much shit that we didn't need. But I do think that there was a lot of wasted opportunities. So the best moments come from the League interacting with each other. And I feel like we lost some of those to deal with Steppenwolf. Now, Steppenwolf is the villain. Steppenwolf is entirely CGI from what I could figure, or if he's not entirely CGI, I couldn't see a sequence where you could figure that out. And it's super distracting, and he's not scary. You don't really care about what's happening. Like they try to set it up so you care about this particular family. I didn't care. I just wanted to see the League. I didn't really care. So given that they spent all this time trying to set him up, but he actually is not like a particularly compelling villain, I feel like there's a lot of wasted time in that, and that time would have been spent doing something else, like talking more amongst the League. So there's other sequences that I think they could have cut. So they spend a lot of time with Lois Lane and Martha Kent, and it's talking about, you know, the loss of Clark, Kal-El, Superman. I feel like that was wasted. Like, I think we know that his mum misses him. I feel like we know he's a nice guy. Like, even if you don't know anything about the Superman mythology or anything like that, you know that he's meant to be a good character. So I felt like that was quite wasted. So I don't think that the 2 hour runtime was a problem. I just think that they spent the time in places they didn't need to spend it on, and they could have actually made more characterization of that. Now, potential overshare, but I did recently, through just completely no fault of my own, fell into my laptop type situation. Did happen to see the Axel Braun porn parody of Batman vs Superman. Just happened to.
Don't even know how.
Don't even know how this happened.
Not even sure that I did. Just had these memories.
But I do have to say that somehow a porn movie that runs for, I think it runs for 2 hours and 11 minutes, hypothetically, it has in some ways better characterization than this movie and actually covers more of a story in the time frame. So I'm just saying it can be done. I'm not saying that I want graphic porn in these movies. I'm not saying I don't want that, but that's not the point I'm making. I haven't really considered that enough to put anything down for that yet. So it actually can be done. And just sidebar, Axel Braun I think might actually be a better director than Zack Snyder. Like, I would stand by that. I would watch something mainstream that he directed. And I think he cares more about the characters too. But I do think that, as I said, they're kind of coming around to doing the characters in a bit more of an open way and a bit more, in a way that is enjoyable to watch. Because the movie is still really enjoyable to watch, you just got to turn your brain off. The other CGI issue is Henry Cavill's mustache. Cavill? I don't know. So his mustache had to be CGI'd off because he was starring in Mission Impossible 6 when they did the reshoots, and we'll get to the reshoots. Because of that, they had to remove it with CGI. So I saw another review by Chris Stuckman. He's like a famous YouTuber, which is a thing. That's the world we live in. There are people who are famous for YouTube. I don't. Okay, sidebar. But he said that he doesn't think that CGI is that distracting, and that he thinks it's just that people knew that it was going to be there and that it was going to be weird, or that they'd heard it was going to be weird and that's why they noticed it. No, mate, you're wrong. So the person that I saw this with had no knowledge about that CGI situation, leaned over to me within 30 seconds of that first sequence and went, what is going on with Superman's face? So it actually is really obvious and it is really distracting. And yeah, it's distracting, and maybe you could kind of suspend disbelief and it would be okay, but the problem is that it ruins a couple of the best lines. So there's a scene where Superman's come back, and yeah, he's kind of evil after having come back, and he grabs Batman and he does a callback to that line from Batman vs Superman where he says, "Tell me, do you bleed?" And it would be amazing. It would be amazing with Henry Cavill's just beautiful, naturally beautiful face, especially with the rage in there. But it's just odd. Like, it's just proper odd. But we did learn something from this, which is that your philtrum is like super important for how you look. Like, a good philtrum is holding your whole face together, apparently. So that's something.